let's start with the saber and conocer, and then we'll go into some preterite review. Let me open up here so that they're sentences that directly relate to what you guys will see on your tests and quizzes, okay? What we have right here is a sentence where on the test or quiz, we're going to be given two options, and that's going to be an actual conjugated verb, but you have both conoce and you have sabe. So you have to be able to choose according to the context of the sentence which one it's going to be. So you've got to figure out the context of that sentence. Like, what is gobernador? Does anybody know? Exactly, it's the governor. So knowing that, that's the key piece though sometimes is just understanding the vocabulary that goes around it, you know? Not necessarily knowing conocer or saber in itself. So now that we know that that's the governor, which one do you think it would be, saber or conocer? Yep, perfect. Conoce is exactly, it's right. Conocer is the verb because that's how I asked the question. And conoce would be the option. Let me see. You guys see that? Escribe la forma correcta de saber o conocer. So not only do you have to know the difference, perfect, but you have to be able to conjugate it. But again, it comes down to, do you know what the words in the sentence mean? Do you guys know what agente de viajes means? Right, travel agent. So that's a person. Knowing that, what's our response? Ooh, Savannah was quick with that. Sí, exacto. Conocemos. That's good. You immediately recognized that it was someone and myself, so we had to use nosotros, and you filled it right in. Okay, here we go. Let's do another one. This one would give you an option, or at least it does, on this particular question. So you have to choose either conocéis or sabéis. And so then you have to understand what the sentence is saying. Vosotros blank la dirección. Do we know what dirección means? So most of the time it would be direct, I mean, address actually. So this is somebody's address. So we know the address. So that's information. Which one are we going to use in that case? ¿Conocéis or sabéis? Right, we're going to use saber. We're going to say sabéis. That one is EIS. Good catch. Yeah, because it's an ER verb, it'll have the EIS ending. Okay, another one where they give you conozco and say. So yo blank que hay examen hoy. Saida says say. Savannah says say. What do you think? Right. Yeah, I agree completely because it's saying I know that there is a test today. So that's information. So it's going to be saber. You want to do a couple more? Let's see here. All right, perfect. Usted blank el perro. So we have conoce and we have sabe. Zaira says conoce. What do you guys think? Conoce. Anybody else want to chime in? Brandon also thinks conoce. I agree. Because, I mean, it's not a person, a dog's not a person, but it's a living, breathing creature. And that's kind of the rule in Spanish. If it's a living, breathing creature, then, it counts. All right, we'll do one more. And then we can do some preterite practice. Here we go. Escribe la forma correcta de saber o conocer. So we have to pick which one and then put it in the right form. Saida's given her answer. What do you guys think? Ah, good question, Savannah. Pasajeros are passengers. And again, this is where the quizzes and tests are tricky in my opinion, is that if you don't know that particular vocab, you kind of have to make a guess. But that's. There we go. Conocemos. Brandon says conocemos. And Savannah says conocemos. Ayana, Graciela, are you guys going to join us? Okay, so yeah, I agree. Conocemos because pasajeros are people. So how do we feel about it? Should we move on to something else? Okay, perfect. I mean, we can keep going with a few more if you guys want to. We can move on. Okay. I kind of want to do a Kahoot to practice the preterite. You guys play Kahoot? Yay, I love Kahoot. Let me go back up. I missed a comment. I just thought place. Oh, Brannon, I see what you're saying. And I see why you looked at it that way. But we're gonna look at it more as like information instead of the place. But that does make sense why you thought that. So when you use conocer with a place, it's more like are you familiar with the city? Like, do you know the city? You know what I mean? And that's what we mean by a place. Like, um, I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, perfect. No problem. You kind of have to look at it like, is it something I can get to know? Because, I don't know Atlanta all that great, but I could go get to know Atlanta, right? So you just kind of have to look at it like that. All right. I want to review those regular preterite endings. And I want us to definitely get to at least the Kargarzars. Hey, Luke, welcome. We're just getting started with a Kahoot game. You're just in time. We're going to review the preterite tense conjugations, regular preterite tense. And we can make that big. Okay, I'm going to start it. Whoever's left, feel free to join us. This is where things get tough because we've done all this training to help us remember that O meant yo, right? And now everything changes. All right. I guess the majority got it right. I can't be upset, right? Yo tomé. Remember that yo form ending is E with an accent if it's an AR verb, right? Ooh, they're tricky. Oh, nice. Everybody got it. Sweet. I was wondering if we were going to confuse it with those IR endings. Joey, no, sir. Oh, half of us. Okay. Right. Yeah. So, habló would be the él, ella, usted form, hablaste, the tú form. It's the green. I wondered if we were going to stem change. Remember that in the preterite, well, I don't think we've gone over this yet, but in the preterite, only verbs that end in IR that were stem changers in the present tense will be stem changers in the preterite tense. So it's a little confusing, but just remember that AR verbs in the preterite aren't going to stem change actually. Oh, Saida, where you at? Savannah's on fire. She caught up. Los muchachos comer muchos hamburguesas. Nice. So ARON would be for an AR verb, but comer is an ER verb. Very good job. La estudiante aprender algo nuevo en la clase de español. Every time, right? Half and half. Let's see. So we went aprendió and aprendieron. Okay, so if it was las estudiantes or los estudiantes, then we would need aprendieron for they. But since it's just one, the he, she form is what we need, aprendió. Ooh, not the vosotros form. Remember what I taught you? Wait, was it you guys I was talking to? Did we talk about the vosotros form in the preterite, you guys? Was that us or was that might have been a private chat that I did with a student. Hold on, let me see if I can write on this. Uh, but but okay, so look at your green answer down there. It's salistes, right? Now ignore that is and what do you see? Saliste, right? That's the to form of the verb. And then directly across from the to form on that verb chart, think about it, picture it in your mind. If you go straight across to the right side of that verb chart, you get the vosotros form. And all you have to do is add is. And that's for both AR and ER-IR verbs. So you put it in the to form and then just add IS to the end of it. Yeah, that the vosotros form is tough. It's tough. Carlos y yo escribir las invitaciones a la fiesta. Ooh. Yep, that was the nosotros form, right? Carlos and I. Teresa, recibir la invitación. That's my sister's name. Oh my God. Whoa, one in every one. So it's an IR verb. LA usted form is IO with an accent mark. So we had one for the yo form, one for the he, she form in the present tense, and one without that I. Hmm? Come on, guys. It's not very fun if you all don't participate. Yay, we all got it right. See? Look how fun that was. My students are geniuses. And compró is the right answer, right? For the he, she form. Perfecto. Savannah with 11 straight answers. What? She's insane. I ate a lot of food. Come on, you other two answer something. Here we go. Three answers. One more, one more. One answer correct. Let me look. Two put it in the he, she form. Again, it's that O on the end. We've been programmed to think that that O means yo, but remember, not in the past tense. Savannah, you better watch it. Saida's coming for you. They lived in New York. They lived in New York. Think about what kind of verb it is. So, what would your ending be? I'm scared to look. Oh, okay. Three got it right. And I'm guessing the one that got it wrong just didn't answer. But that was good. Vivieron. I was scared people were gonna pick vivaron because ARON is our AR verb ending. Oh, Zaida's on fire. Savannah, watch out. You watched a video in class. Ooh, and this comes from ver, right? Nice. Three of you got it. And one, I'm gonna guess that they just didn't answer because I would hate to think somebody thought vo was a verb form. All right. Oh gosh, so close. Did he prepare the food? Can they see you? Preparó la comida? Preparé would be the yo form. Ooh, that was tough. That was tough. Oh, Saida and Savannah. Savannah, you reigned for so long. You can get it back. 2 and 2. Escuché with what was the other one? Escuchó. Remember that O no longer means yo in the past tense. Escuché is the yo form. All right, all four. That's what I'm talking about. Jugaron. AR verbs aren't going to stem change in the past tense anymore. Yay! Usted comprender. You be so proud. Come on, one more. We're going to get them all right if you go. Oh, we were so close. Comprendió. Perfect. All right. I think we have one more. Oh, two more. Volvimos. Nice job. So ER and IR verbs take that IMOS, right? Ooh, Graciela's on fire now. La profesora explicar. What do we have? Two and two. And for past tense, absolutely. For preterite tense, because there's two past tenses, so don't let me confuse you that way. But yep, explicó is the he, she form. And our podium. Dun, dun. Can you guys hear the music? The music's my favorite. I can't play Kahoot without the music. Yay, Graciela, Savannah, and Saida. Yay. All right. Let me open this up. I'm going to stop sharing that screen and I'm going to pull up a different one. And I'm going to get rid of the Kahoot music so that I'm not distracted. There we go. And let me open up a PowerPoint. So, if you were in class when we made our flip chart, you will be able to write this information in your flip chart. If you weren't, then you're just going to have to take note of it somewhere. And just to let you know, you could also watch a video of when we made the flip chart so that you could catch up with us for that information. But right now we're going to go with, as soon as it opens here, I just want to make sure we have all the right information. We did, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, we did the regular endings of the preterite, right? So then today, in theory, we could do ser, ir, dar, and ver, and the Kargar Zars. Maybe we should even do Kargar Zar first because it's definitely, I know that Kargar Zars are on the test and quiz. I'm not sure if ser, ir, dar, and ver are. But okay, Savannah, so yes, we did AR and ER. So ER and IR verbs are conjugated the same. So make a note to yourself in there so that you don't forget that. So then let me share The jigsaw. Do I need a helper agent? Sure, we'll allow it. And we'll open up our flip chart to share and close. And it's black again. Let's see if we can pull that out. Aha! So we're not going to do this first, right? Let me go back up. For those that made the flip chart, let me move my arrow. We're going to move down to Ser ir dar en ver and cargar zar, right? So we're going to move down to the flap that has ser ir dar en ver on the top, or that's where it will be, and we're going to put the cargar zars on the bottom of that. Let me make sure I have my cargar zar information. And I do. So, on your flap, actually, let's just go ahead and put it on the top, and then we'll put ser ir dar en ver on the bottom. So this is our foldable right up here. You see where my mouse is. And we're going to open it up so that right down here on the lip of that foldable, it says ser, ir, dar, ver, and cargar zars. I hear that somebody chatted something. Wait, when did you make the flip charts? Savannah, Saida, do you guys remember what class that was? I think it was just the last class. Yeah. Yeah, so last week we made it and I posted the video, so you should be able to go when you go on to let's see. When you go into our course homepage, and then if you're looking at those icons that are right in the middle, click on live sessions, and then there's a list of all of the sessions that we've done so far with a link to the recordings. Gotcha. And you can always just take down this information and then make the chart on your own. And actually, I could probably stand to make a better video and send it to everybody because we were doing it in the moment, and it's always better to edit a video than it is to do that. But anyway, I digress. We're going to put this information on the top flap. So if you have your flip chart and you open it up to the section that says Ser Ir and Dar Ver and Cargar Sar, no problem. We're going to write on the top flap just to make sure that we have space for everything, right? So you've got basically a half sheet of paper there. And I suggest, now this, if I were you, this is how I would set up my chart to where you have, whoa, I'm just clicking everywhere. You have a little bit of space for some notes at the top, and you don't have to set them up like this because, of course, it was much easier for me to do this digitally than it would be for you to draw all of it. But we do want to be able to at least have some examples and to see where it makes the change, okay? And so I want to point out to you here the red table. It gives examples of infinitives, right? So when we talk about cargar zars, we're talking about verbs that end literally in car. Well, my underline's not going to touch it very well, is it? Ta-da! In car, gar, and zar. So they're all AR verbs, but they have a specific consonant in front of them. Because what's going to happen is in Spanish, for example, if we were to take tocar and to conjugate it how we think we should conjugate it into the preterite tense, like the quote unquote normal way, our normal conjugation would be to take off the AR, and we're going to do this together. So I'm going to type out tocar here, we would normally take off the AR and just add E with an accent mark, right? But in Spanish, what happens when you have a C followed by an E is that the C is going to say S instead of K, right? And we want it to keep that strong K sound in Spanish. So that means that we have to make some changes in the spelling. So rather than put CE, we're going to actually take the C out and we're going to change it to QU, just like they show you right here. And then E with an accent is our ending. So the ending stays the same because it's an AR verb, and in the yo form, it keeps the E with an accent mark, right? But we're going to change the C to a QU. Does everybody see that? Okay. Now, the same thing is going to happen when we use the verb jugar. Wait, before we move on, let me also point out that if you look down here in my verb box right here, you'll see that only the yo form is irregular. Do you see that? Only the yo form changed. Let's change my color here just to illustrate it a little bit. We're going to go red and we're going to bold that sucker. So it turned to toque, right? But everything else kept the C and stayed regular, right? Tocaste is Tocaste. Tocó is Toco with an accent mark. So basically, it's just if a C is followed by an E that it would have to change. And the only ending that does that is the yo form. And that's why we have to make that spelling change, right? So then moving on to GARs, the GAR verbs, and we know a lot of GARs actually. We know jugar, llegar, I mean, I'm not going to be able to come up with them off the top of my head, but I'm sure we do. We know a lot of car verbs too. But we just, picked some random ones. But it's going to be the same kind of thing. When a G is followed by an E by itself, it can't make that hard G sound. Think about words that we've learned that have a GE in them, like the word for general. Does anybody remember that word, or do they even know it? So it looks, there we go. It looks like that, right? General. And the G says like an H. I'm trying to think of anything else we might know. I'm thinking of words that we probably don't know. Genial. Gente. Beautiful, Savannah. Gente. Yes. So that's a G followed by an E. And so it's gonna make an H sound. Oh goodness. Sorry about that. We have a very anxious dog. So we have to make a change. When we keep an E there, it's going to say ha like an H. We want it to say g. So we're going to take that verb. Joey, no, sir. We're going to take that verb. We have jugar. And if we conjugated it, please put him up. If we conjugated it normally, it would say juhe, which makes no sense whatsoever. So we have to grow a U in there to make that G say G. Otherwise, it's not going to make the right sound and we would sound crazy, right? So, jugué. Now, it's going to work the same way as tocar. So, it will change only in the yo form and everything else is normal. So, instead of, let's see, we'll do jugaste, right? Jugó. jugamos. Now notice that there's no need for their endings to change at all. The endings, because they're all AR verbs. So their endings are all fine. Hey, look, here's what I said about the vosotros form. If you see right here, the to form, my goodness, it's jugaste, right? And then over here in the vosotros form, it's jugaste plus an is. Oh man, my highlight was doing so good and then I lost it. There we go. Jugaste plus is. See? I can help you. Okay, and then one more. We've got jugaron. So everything stays the same except for that pesky yo form. So I always make my students in face to face do this awful chant and they hate me, especially now that we're online, because I make them all unmute and I make them do these awful chants and it's really funny to me. But they always say, and crazy enough, this chant is nothing special. It's just like cargar sar que ge se only in the yo, and they remember it for years to come. It's crazy how that can, something so small can stick with you. But that's going to be true. And you know what? These pesky cargar sars are going to be pesky in pretty much, maybe not every other tense that we learn, but in the future they're going to be pesky in a lot of the conjugations that we have. So the only one left is the say, right? The zar verbs. So instead of a zar, we're going to change it to a c. That z changes to a c. And I would love to give you a big explanation about why the z can't be followed by an e, but to be quite honest with you, I don't know that it would change anything because a Z sounds just like an S all the time. Think about your numbers. And when you started with zero, right? It's cero in Spanish. Cero. I don't know why, but they usually don't have words that are ZE. But I don't know of any rule where a Z can't be followed by an E. It just is. It's just the way that they're gonna do you right here. So instead of, let's use comenzar. Ooh, that's a long one. Instead of comenzar, and I made my mouse really big so that I can do the online classes better. Like you could see my mouse a little better, but oh my gosh, it's harder to use. I can't put it places. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Imagine if you were with me every day, you guys, because this is how I am literally all the time. So we take off that AR, but we can't keep our Z. We have to change it to a C, right? So we have C and then E. Comense. Everything else keeps the Z and it's normal. Do we have any questions about this? Oh, I'm sorry. I forget like that I need to actually give students, some time to write all of the crud down because it's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to write down. Let me see if I can, let's see. Let me pull up some of the questions that deal with Kargarzar while you guys are writing. I gotta find it again. Here we go. Skipping through. Oh, okay, there's one. Let me go. How do I go back? Oh, previous. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm kind of crazy. Okay, let me open up something. Everybody's doing okay? Perfect. Now, Saida, as a Spanish speaker, does this make things a little clearer for you? Or did you already know like reading and writing and all that stuff? Perfect. Thanks, Savannah. Perfect. It's my favorite when I can teach my native speakers something, cuz lots of students, especially, here, they will have grown up here, and so they don't always even read and write, but it's not terrible to learn how to read and write. So, but it makes me happy when I get to teach you guys something. Okay, I'm just pulling some questions out for us. Oh, you're lucky. All right, so you guys go ahead and work on these four. Remember everything we just discussed. Don't type any answers in just yet, just so everybody gets a chance to work them. Okay, let's try. Let's type in your number one, but don't hit send yet. Just type it in and we'll send it at the same time. Okay, I saw both of you type something, so I'm going to say click send. That's beautiful. Haha. Saida, it looks like you skipped an S there, but I think you knew what you were doing and you just probably mistyped it. Perfect. So you have buscaste, right? Plus an IS. Exactly. All right. Type in your number two. Don't hit send yet. Okay, send it. Oh, sorry, Saida. I thought you had typed it. That's good. Perfect. Both of you. Sacaste. See, these are tricky because you have to pay attention to whether or not it's in that yo form because that's the only time. So it's like students, they kind of become hyper vigilant and they want to make that spelling change in all the forms, but you guys have done perfect. Okay, type in your number 3. Don't hit send yet. Hit send. Sorry, Savannah, I got ahead of you. Yep, there you go. Gotcha. And I know the accents are so crazy, and I wish there were an easy way to do it, but every computer's different. That becomes the issue. Okay, type in number 4. You're funny, Gemma. You can ask me a question. I don't care. Okay, send it. Sorry, Savannah, I did it again. It was not in the chat. Like the sentence, it tells me Savannah is typing, but it wasn't like pulled up. I'm gonna say accent. That's perfect. And you know what? If you ever have issues with accent marks, if you do exactly what you just did on a quiz, I'm gonna count that right. So no worries at all there. And you guys did it. So any questions about Kargar Zars? It wasn't as bad as actually it wasn't as bad as what my regular students make it. Yeah, that one's the hardest one to remember in my opinion. I don't know why. I guess in my brain it's probably because there's no reason for it. You know, if I had a reason, it would make it easier for me to remember. I'm just that type of person. I need to know the why. I'm that annoying little kid. Why? Oh yeah, Conozco's a weird one. Yeah. All right, guys. I've kept you for an hour. If you don't have any other questions, I'll let you go and we will continue next week with some more. Yay! You know, before you pushed enter, I just thought of that. Group me or something so that we can remind each other. You watched one, did you like it? You did, Saida? Is it good? Is it cute? Okay, good. It's interesting. I don't know if I like that word interesting. Wait, your mom didn't hate it or she did hate it? She didn't like it. Aw. Is she gonna let you watch it? Wait, is it appropriate? It has to be, right? I read that it was school appropriate. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. You guys email me and remind me over the weekend. Ooh, how exciting. Yeah, if you think about it, email me over the weekend and remind me to watch it because I totally forgot. And we watch and rewatch shows all the time. I could very easily put that on instead. It's ridiculous. Aw, Savannah, you're so cute. Aw. Gosh, now I feel bad. I didn't do my homework, you guys. Oh, I failed. I'm gonna have to take this L. And last Friday, gosh, you're good. Yeah, whenever you guys sit down to watch it, shoot me an email so that I realize I need to go. Graciela, we're watching a show together on Netflix called Silvana Sin Lana. So do you want us to watch more or just watch until 2? Well, that's a good question. Saida, do you think we should add a couple more? I should buck up and catch up. Maybe we should add one more episode or even two more episodes? I love that you remembered before we came. Ooh, okay, good. If you're interested, then I'm Yes, you should watch it with us. Okay, we'll watch all the way through episode 4. And again, email me and remind me. That's awful. Okay, ladies. Next class, I'll prepare some questions about the show or something. Something fun about the show. I don't know. I'll have to watch it. It'll probably come to me. Like an idea will come to me as I watch it. You too, Graciela. Thank you. Of course. Have a good night, Savannah. Good night, Saida. Tell your mom I'm sorry that she doesn't like the show.